What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast. We're breaking down UFC Fight Night Brady versus Burns. We're going to the Apex. We got Gilbert Burns is a plus 150 dog. Sean Brady minus 180 money line. As always, before we jump into this action, go down, like, and subscribe. Comment who you got winning this fight night. All your picks on this card, and if you're parlaying anything together, we would definitely want to hear it. As always, I'm Paul Pick 'em Win 'em Concha, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev, Waterboy Savoy, aka the Donkey Guy. You always know the realest on your screen. And if you didn't know by the fit, it's football weekend this fucking Sunday. But before we get in any football, we gotta talk some MMA, man. Whew. Hell, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is what you call a setup card. Or what did you call it? The holdover card? It's like this is
Yeah,
the
this
card.
holds you
Like,
over.
it's just like, hey man, we got some
Appetizer.
shit we got some shit coming. So here go Gilbert Burns holding some shit down real quick. You feel me?
You ever go to like Red Lobster, Outback, all those places, and they bring you either some cheddar biscuits, they bring you some butter and some rolls, they bring you some. That's what this is. No one's mad at it. We enjoyed the cheddar biscuits. I'm gonna tear them bitches up. But I didn't
Facts.
just come to this restaurant for just the biscuits. Eventually, next week for Noche is when I'm getting my full entree, maybe a little dessert at the end. I'm definitely gonna get a couple cocktails on the side.
Nah, I feel you, kid, man. My big back ass. This is like the Texas Roadhouse cinnamon butter and the rolls.
Exactly.
Hold me over real quick. I might even take some cinnamon butter back to the crib with me later, kid. But hey, I can't wait till that country fried steak come out this motherfucker. Piping hot with some mashed potatoes in this bitch. So the UFC is supposed to be cooking up. We're gonna see if they deliver. That boy Dane is excited. But we gotta get into this card, man. I know it's not the deepest of cards, kid, but what fights you want to talk first?
Yeah, it's not the deepest. There is going to be some good talent throughout the card. I mean, it's always Andre Petrosky's on the card. Isaac Dolgarian's on the card. Isaac Dolgarian's like a minus 3,000 favorite, which is absolutely insane. That's like Bo Nickel territory favoritism. Um, but those aren't little, like, those are good fights. We could talk those, but they don't really carry weight. I mean, also, why the fuck are we talking a minus 3,000 favorite? If you don't win, that's on you, buddy. Like, there's no excuses for anyone. Um, Gotta talk this co-main and main event, the two fights that actually are gonna have some weight and ripple effects throughout the UFC and might actually be talking points for other fights and fighters for the next couple of weeks. And shout out Brazil. We got NFL going on this Friday and co-main and main event for this card, both Brazilians.
Hey,
Jessica on
don't forget
yeah.
to shout out my dog Matt Snell and Cody Durden. That probably might be a little dirty.
Y'all love if Romeo was here, y'all we probably would be talking this fight because of his love for Cody Durden. If we're shouting out our boys, a shout out Trevor Peak, the wild man.
Trevor Peak is gonna do something dangerous. I'm right. I'm gonna tune in probably around that fight.
Yeah, and even Kyle Nelson and Steve Garcia, like those are good fights, but like we're here to talk about what everyone else wants to talk about, the fights that actually carry weight. And to open that up, we got the women's flyweight, Jessica Andrade taking on Natalia Silva. Andrade plus 265, Natalia Silva minus 330. This is Andrade is coming off of two wins, a split decision win over Rodriguez, and then the KO over Mackenzie Dern. I was all over the Mackenzie Dern win. I wasn't on her last win, but Natalia Silva has been running amok. She's 5-0 in her last five, two finishes out of that. A lot of people are screaming, "Hey, Andrade as a dog." You know, like I like to be a part of that camp, but I'm just gonna kind of like show my hand a little early, and I'm gonna say like Andrade is a dog, and I always fuck with her as a dog, and plus 265 is not bad odds, or plus 255 is not bad odds, but it's also like you gotta know when to take her as a dog, and it's usually against people that can't strike and people that primarily might want to use BJJ or are in the same striking range as her. Like there's things to it. I just don't think Natalia Silva should be the guy. It should be the person she's fighting when you're screaming, "Oh, this is easy dog money, easy dog money."
Yikes! Yikes! I mean, Jessica Andrade is always she's an off and on problem. Like she is a great person. Stay consistent. I think out of all the women's fighters, she's probably somebody we probably talk the most. And she's constantly in fire fights. But I like how you come I'm not sleeping on Natalia Silva. I'm also taking Natalia Silva low key, just to see what the fuck this should have gone. If Romeo was here, he'd probably say he'd probably say something about Natalia Silva as well. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing if if they gonna bang this bitch out. You think of the end and the finish?
It could. I don't think so. I think this is probably my safe bet for this fight would be this fight goes to the decision. I don't even know what the odds are on that. But I'm just looking at Andrade's like record. She had 5 fucking fights in 2023.
Sheesh.
Like I'm just looking at it. That's nutty. And these are hit like Lauren Murphy. She absolutely beat the dog shit out of Lauren Murphy. That was like, oh shit. Then Aaron Blanchfield submitted her. We're like, okay, Aaron Blanchfield's hurt. Then Yang Zhang KO'd her. We're like, okay, Yang is fucking hurt. She went on fight for titles. Both of those went on fight for title shots. Tatiana Suarez submitted her. Problem. Then Mackenzie Dern knockout. And then she that was her last fight, 2023. But she's already had a fight in 2024 against Marina Rodriguez. But it's just crazy. I'm just looking at my brother. That's 6 fights since the start of last year. That's insane. We're going on number 7 right now.
I was about to say, we talk her more than anybody because she has seasons too. Because remember when she was killing shit with the bear?
Yeah, it's ups and downs. What's up?
I said, nah, but that's fact, man. But yeah, she was killing shit. She had seasons. She was killing niggas with the blue hair. And I don't know. I'm not taking her this time, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if she got it done.
Yeah, I'm taking Natalia Silva, and it's mainly because she's a good striker. Like that's the one thing Blanchfield is not the best. Not Blanchfield. Andrade's not the best at is striking. She kind of has the same striking style every fight. And Natalia Silva, I think, is going to be able to piece her apart with some leg kicks, body work, and does not let it get into that dirty brawling style that Andrade likes.
Mm.
Yeah. From the girls to the men, we had the main event here: Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady. It was closer in odds, I think, recently, but it's kind of separated as the fight gets closer. Sean Brady, slight favorite, -180. Gilbert Burns +150. Last time we saw Burns, he was winning that Jack Della Maddela fight until he wasn't. And then he gets knocked out in the 3rd round. And the fight before that was the decision loss to Belil, with Belil that's kind of dominated. Meanwhile, Sean Brady, also second last fight was Belil. Belil knocked his ass out. Belil's like, hype train. That started the hype moment of like, okay, Belil, like everyone knew who Belil was, but it was like, this motherfucker got knocked out. Now you can't say shit. Because that was the one thing we kept shitting on him for. Was like, you don't get finishes, motherfucker.
I don't know. I think they said shit the entire time until he won the championship.
Yeah, that's true. They're still talking shit to this day. And then he follows that up with the submission win over Kelvin Gastelum in his last fight. This is kind of a tough fight to gauge because you do got the fact that Gilbert Burns is 38 years old. He is older. A lot of people do still think he still has enough in his gas tank. He looked really good against JDM before he got knocked out. Sean Brady, he's just not the most active guy. So it's kind of hard to really gauge him because there's only 2 fights in the last 2 years. So it is kind of a toss him up. I feel confident in my pick. How do you feel about this one?
I don't fucking know because I thought Sean Brady wasn't shit for getting beat by Belil until Belil just kept on fucking everybody up. And I'm just like, how bad is this loss now? So I actually haven't seen Sean Brady fight because you said that was his last fight, right?
No, Kelvin Gastelum when he submitted Gastelum.
He did fuck up Gastelum. That's when Gastelum came in fatter than motherfucker, right? No, that's when the Luke bout got canceled, and he kept the fights. All his fights got canceled in 2023, literally, except for the Gastelum one, and then his last fight with Luke got canceled for March. So that's
Gastelum was getting tossed around like ragdoll towards the second, third. It was starting to turn into even if you don't get submitted, it's a unanimous decision, Brady.
Facts, and then it's kind of tragic because my dog Gilbert Burns, I got nothing but love for him. I lead Brazil. It's actually a Brazilian. I think it's Brazilian Independence month, either this month and this week or next week, something like that. But Brazil, we're rooting for you. I'm going to the Brazilian Festival tomorrow, Paul. But sheesh, This is gonna be a tough one for my dog. My dog wants to come back win. He wants to show that he's a bomb, but he's running into a killer right now, and it was suck. But his play style, his fighting style is just not safe. Like it's easy to go against niggas that like he can fuck up and Neil Magny or Jorge Masvidal, but like when you find like the Kamzats and the Bilals and it's just the fighting style is not safe. Like you can't hold it, you can't trust the fighting style for all 3 rounds. So like this is a tough one. I might have to pick against my dog, Pebble. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's also going 5 rounds. This is the main event, so
Oh,
that's
and
the
it's
other
fine.
big thing. Yeah, it's gonna be 5 rounds, and Vegas expects it to go 5 rounds too, because the over under is 4.5 rounds, and it's a pick 'em on whether or not the fight that goes the distance.
Tell me more about Sean Brady's fighting style. How
He
can Gilbert?
wrestles. That's the thing. The one thing that makes I feel very confident in Sean Brady in the fact that he can wrestle his ass off in
Damn
a
it!
decision fight. If this is what Vegas is telling you, this fight's probably going to the decision. In a decision fight, I'm gonna take the guy who I think is going to win the rounds, and I think Gilbert Burns does have power in his hands, and there's always he could catch him with a fucking shot, rock his world, different fight within the first 30 seconds. I just kind of want to go. I'm feeling what I think is the most likely outcome, and it's Sean Brady for 3 to 4 rounds, wrestling, having dominant control. Maybe not crazy damage, but enough damage to win rounds. And we're talking like, damn, like Gilbert Burns needs a submission here or knockout to win in the 5th round. Like that's how I feel like. And not saying it's not possible. I would say take the double chance because I don't think Sean Brady is gonna finish Gilbert Burns. So
Mm-hmm.
my bet, I think it's sitting at like plus 200, 300. I don't know the exact odds on it, but it's like Sean Brady by points or Gilbert Burns by decision. Not decision, by sub. Because I see it either like Sean Brady's going to win the decision here, or Gilbert Burns is going to Sean Brady overextends, does something on the ground, and Gilbert Burns fucking elite BJJ somehow catches him in a submission off the back or something, or reverses a takedown, gets a good submission, and Sean Brady just can't survive. Like Sean Brady can wrestle his ass off, but he's not gonna be able to. Once the submission start getting locked in, it's gonna turn a little different on the mat. So I kind of like Brady by decision or Burns by submission. But if I had to give a full one-sided pick, it's Sean Brady, and he's gonna win by decision.
See, I didn't even think about the option of a submission win with Gilbert Burns. But now I'm checking his resume right now since 2020. Don't ask me how many fights it's been because it's been I don't feel like counting. But he has 2 submissions. He has a heel hook and he has the arm triangle that he got on Neil Magny like in the first 45 seconds of that fight. So there is an opening for some BJJ. There is an opening for him to lock something in. But I'm gonna name some. I'm gonna name some names, Paul. I'm gonna tell you 2 things, and I'm gonna ask you 2 things to guess 2 things that they all have in common. Belal Muhammad, Hamza Chimaev, Kamaru Usman.
They're all wrestlers, and they all finished him. Oh no, Belal didn't finish him, but
They all beat him. You didn't even know he did tear shit against Belal. Belal walked in with an ankle, so like nobody's ever 100% in the ring for real, in the octagon for real. So I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm gonna do something I don't want to do. And that's root for my dog, Gilbert Burns, man. I gotta pick my man's dog. I'm hoping that he can lock in and find something. I think Sean Brady has him when it comes to like this matchup. But I think coming off of that loss to JDM, he'll be ready to us to stop the wrestling. If he can stop the wrestling, and it doesn't have to do it all rounds. Just stop it just a couple. Just stop it for 2 or 3. We can all motherfucking see that. Or get the submission and finish and get up out of there. But if he goes to decision in the first 2 rounds and fucking him wrestling his ass off, I'm like, I look quite stupid right now wearing this Brazil shirt.
yeah, no, it should be. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I feel more confident on Brady because I'm just like really like hoping like Gilbert Burns is gonna either rock him or submit him, and I've never really wanted to be in the camp of like I'm hoping for a finish.
Tragic. That should be so hurtful because it's only came first. For me, I think it's only come once. Like, I think that's only happened. Like, but we gotta get the finish, and it can't. Versus the amount of times I've been watching a fight and be like, oh, bro, all you got to do is just don't get finished here and fight. Next, Izzy on the floor. Motherfucker, Kamaru Usman on the floor.
And those are the
Gilbert Burns on the
most
floor.
exciting things in the fucking combat sports is those. When someone has the win in their hand and all of a sudden it just things change. But it should be a good fight. I mean, those two fights, we're only breaking down those two, but like we said, just open up the card. There's a handful of fights. If you want to talk fights, there's enough to talk. There's enough to go around. You can talk about the young guys on this card, the big favorites, and even some of the fan favorites like Trevor Pete, Matt Chanel.
Facts, man. It's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah, we're going to the Apex one more time right before we hit UFC Noche, which is next week. Also got Canelo Fight Week next week. So combat sports is gearing up. But at the same time, catch us on the NFL. That just started this week. We got the first week week one picks coming out later this week as well. So stay tuned. We got a lot coming this season on Totally Blitz Podcast. But as always, like and subscribe. It means a lot. Comment who you got for this fight, who your parlays, how much money you making this weekend. I'm Paul Pick'em Win'em with Kevin Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.